Dashboard here, looking at some wiring. Been trying to go through and label a lot of this stuff, you know. I've been taking out a lot of the modified wiring. You notice that little light and switch and stuff are all gone from there. I couldn't get that thing to work, and I did determine though that it was, the way it was wired up, it would have turned on the backup lights and then also lit up the little saucery looking thing that was there. But anyway, I've been cleaning stuff up under here, and part of that is the transmission kickdown. So what this does is it's just a little switch, and when you basically put the thing to the floor, there's a switch back here and it closes the switch. According to the factory service manual, there's supposed to be 12 volts coming from the ignition or an ignition source. I'm assuming it just comes straight from here because it's so close to one side of the switch, and then the other side of the switch goes down here, goes to that. This is what was under the car. So this obviously goes on the transmission side, it's round. And this Jeep had two options for the setup. One included just the kickdown like this, but you can see there's an extra, so that's that one. But there's another one over here that's blank. There's nothing in there, even in the back, you know, it's just... that I believe was for, I think it was called the TCS, Transmission Control System, or something like that. There's some wires under here that I think I mentioned in a previous video that I think would have been used for that had this Jeep been equipped with it. And that had something to do with controlling when the transmission shifts based on temperature or timing or something, I don't know. But either way, this Jeep clearly hasn't got it. None of the wiring's hooked up, and whatever this was, if it was TCS or not, is not here. It's just one wire, which makes it easy for us, right? This was the other end. Clearly that's not long enough to go from there all the way up and around and up to there. So this plugged in somewhere, I don't know where, doesn't really matter. The short of it is you need 12 volts to that, and when you mat the thing, it sends 12 volts through the switch down to the solenoid, and it engages the solenoid, and that kicks down the transmission so that whatever gear it's in, it drops a gear. So if you're in third and you floor it, it'll shift to second. If you're in second, you floor it, it shifts to first. At least that's my understanding of it. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but pretty simple circuit. So first thing I gotta do is test that switch and see if it works. It moves. I don't know if it sends power. I mean, if it has any, the switch is good. So multimeter again, got a couple of little clamps here, some wiring. We're gonna test the switch, and then we're gonna test the solenoid. So let me get a little test set up here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. We'll see if this thing actually lives or it needs to get replaced. All right, so here we go. I got a little clamp on one side. It goes down to my red lead. Black lead is just kind of jammed onto that back of that terminal there. Multimeter's in continuity mode, so let's hit that switch. We can do this without the leads falling out. Now, the switch is sticky and it sticks on, but it does work. So we need to clean it. So probably take it off and clean it. There's a nut on the back of it, kind of like this switch here. It's just, you thread it off and it comes out. So I'll take it off and clean it. So that's half the circuit. Now what's the other half is going to be if we send power you know, up under here to that switch, will it click? I'm assuming it clicks. It must do something, right? It makes, bound to make some kind of noise. I did check it when I had the pan off and the wiring was all intact, so if it works, it'll be a miracle, but I guess we'll see. And yeah, so I've got some wire here and alligator clips. Let me see if I can tap some power maybe off of the accessory side of the switch up there. There's a bare terminal I can connect to, and just get 12 volts down to the solenoid. We'll see what it does. All right, got, I decided not to use the switch because I didn't want to take it down. I couldn't see what was on there. But anyway, this is hooked right onto the old fuse block that you can't see up in there. Focus. That one. And it's hooked up to a little wire right there. I just put that around it so it doesn't ground out to the body. It comes down to this little guy right here, which if we touch to our test light's just grounded up there. So we have 12 volts. So in theory, we touch that to our transmission solenoid. It should do something, right? So there's the oh, it could do that too. Can you guys see? Yeah, I'm too busy watching the camera, not paying attention to what I'm doing. You hear that? Listen close. Hear it? It works. It was a little sticky, but it works. There we go. All right, let me reconfirm that. Let me unplug this before it shorts something out. Okay. All right. So now we know we need to clean the switch out, but it works. Our solenoid works. The first couple of times I tapped it, it didn't, but you guys could hopefully hear it. Kind of a subtle plungery, clicky sound. So the next bit, I don't think I'm gonna film this right now because I'm running short on time, but I'll show you guys when it's done. You can judge my creativity or lack thereof. I'm gonna get some wires down to that. I think I'm still gonna go with running power from directly from the ignition switch down to that, and then from there I'll jump it out through the firewall up here and then run it down under the hood somehow. I mean, there are a couple looms under there. I have some spare wire, you know, I can get wiring down there. I would like to find out where the wiring is for that thing. I mean, I don't think anybody cut it all out. It's probably in here somewhere. I don't know where they are now, but I saw there were 2 yellow wires tied together under here, and I'm wondering if maybe that was what originally plugged in, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth trying to reuse the old or just replace it all, and then when I find the old stuff, just take it out. But either way, there you go. That's the transmission kickdown circuit in all its glory. We'll get it hooked back up, and I don't imagine doing any full throttle runs in this guy, but I think it'd probably blow the engine up. But, you know, we got a lot of hills around here, and being able to cruise around at 25 miles an hour and not bog it climbing a big grade would be nice to have a little kick down, you know, get it back from second into first or something. So that's what I'm working on right now, and still got a long way to go on this stuff. Everything's functional, but I don't want bare wires under here, and you see I'm trying to label things as I go. So got my cigarette lighter hooked back up. Well, the wire's over there. I'm not going to plug it in because I don't want to burn it down, but yeah, it's a mess. It's getting there though, and it's better than it was. The previous owner had a lot of customizations in here and things, and well, I don't have anything against that. It'll be the same by the time I'm done with it, but I'd like to kind of start from square one here, get it as close as I can to what's bare minimum, and then go from there. There's a little switch out of there. It's a pretty straightforward little guy. There's this little nut right here. That goes through. That nut tightens it down. I guess this other jam nut, you could adjust the depth. Right now it's all the way up, so it's going to engage as soon as possible. I don't know. I mean, right now you pretty well got to put the thing to the floor for it to engage, so I might like it to engage a little sooner than that, but these aren't cheap, and you can't find original ones. At least I haven't. So there you go. There's the switch. We'll get him. I'm gonna put a little WD on the post and the shaft there to help it. Right now it sticks. So we'll clean him up, put a little contact cleaner, spray it in around that board maybe. And in theory it could come apart, but I'm not gonna push my luck. I'll just dribble something down in there and work the switch. It doesn't get it used much, but like I said, you don't want to bog down the thing either. Trying to climb a hill or something, it's best to have it on there, even if you don't use much. All right, enough of that. We'll get it all back together, and it'll be one less thing on the Jeep that hasn't been fixed yet. Thanks for watching.